Hi everyone, I'm very happy to be back after being such a long time away and offline. Many things happened lately. I was traveling a lot, I was playing concerts, giving masterclasses at festivals and so on. So there was absolutely no way for me to make cello content. But now I am back, and right now, right here, I have a very interesting and important topic, which is sound projection. Exactly, sound projection. Because at the end, the cello, what is the cello famous for? Because of its sound. And as I was performing lately in big concert halls, I've learned, discovered, and experienced new things. And also, I will share with you a way of practicing. So, in order to develop your sound and sound projection into the concert hall. So, make sure that you stay until the end of this video. Because I promise you, from now on, your cello playing will be different in a positive way. If this is your first time here in this video or on my channel, I am Ilia, Laporev cellist, and on this channel I produce cello content, cello tutorials, and so on. If this is what you're looking for, then consider to subscribe. Now let's go to the moment that you were all waiting for. A simple way of practicing to develop your sound and sound projection. So that way of practice that I will show you, it's actually very easy and ridiculous, but it's so powerful. And many of us, we are even familiar with that way of practice, but we're human beings, so we forget. And sometimes we want things fast, on our time. But it's not like this. Playing the cello, playing any instrument, playing music, it's a very slow process. It takes time and patience is key. Anyway, let me show you a couple of examples here. So let's say that you are playing Haydn in D. So what I suggest you to do now in order to feel that freedom, that incorporation in your sound is the following. We're gonna use now freestyle, free bowings, free rhythm. It's up to you how you wanna do this, but let me show you how I would practice on that. Right now, you might be thinking, wow, but everything sounds so loud and everything is in forte, even in the score it's written piano, whatever. But that is actually the point that you develop this. Because one thing is when you practice in a small room like me or like most of you, and another thing is when you play in a concert hall. Because when you play in a concert hall, it's much bigger, and many times the acoustic, it's a little bit drier. Here, it's very reverbing, so everything sounds like a bathroom. So everything sounds great. Even if you're playing piano, everything sounds mezzo forte, for instance. But in a concert hall, not. Because what happened with me is that in 2020, so in the middle of the pandemic, I was practicing all the time here in this room and everything sounded great. And when I was doing piano, everything sounded loud. So I started to play small, without anybody in the sound. And when I went into a concert hall, I felt so small. And I had my father or other people that were listening inside the hall, and their opinion was that my cello didn't project, the sound didn't project into the hall. It sounded tiny, it sounded musical, it sounded beautiful and so on, but there was a lack of potential. So that is what I want to talk with you today, that what you play in the room, it's not going to be the same at the concert hall. Don't play for yourself. You need to play for the person that is sitting in the last row, right? So this is very important, and this is what I want to reach with you today in this lesson. So it's very important that you use body in your sound. I don't mean body with movements, but just incorporate it, right? Make sure that you make the whole building vibrate. This is very important. Without any tension, everything with freedom, just as an example I showed you before. For people that have difficulties with right hand, like tension and so on, there is a video of mine that I go more into detail, which is actually more suitable for beginners. So make sure that you click on this card right over here that will appear, or wait until this lesson is finished. Then you will see an end screen that you can click on it. Now let's use another example. Let's say that you're playing the Elegy by Gabriel Fauré. Now, the way how I would practice that. Okay, before proceeding, two little things that are very important to consider. One thing is that be careful that you don't play near the fingerboard, because when you play near the fingerboard, in some parts of music, it gets a beautiful tone, a beautiful timbre. But in general, to get a full body sound, you don't want to play over here at this part, because then everything sounds more tiny. So I would find, a great place. I wouldn't neither go too close to the bridge, in order to avoid scratchy sounds. So that's up to you, where you feel best, but don't go to the extremes. Neither too close to the fingerboard, because or else everything will be shut down, and neither too close to the bridge. Anyway, you need to experiment with it. You need to listen with your ears. As I usually say to my students in my YouTube lessons over here, your ears are your most important weapon over here, right? Second thing is that you need to keep in mind is when you do this way of practicing, so freestyle, free bowings and so on, make sure that you pay attention already into the bow changes so they get smooth. So this is a great way of practicing, not only to try to find this vibration, this body in your sound, but you can already work on bow changes, on your right hand in general, and on intonation. So because you're doing it slow, you have the time to adjust in case if you are playing too high, too low. You see what I mean? So this is very important. Let's proceed with the next piece. Right, the next example that I will use is going to be a simple study by Louis Fayard, Studies of the Young Cellist, the ones that I actually cover here on YouTube. I will use exercise number 4, so even there you can apply it. So let's go with study number 4. Then afterwards you can try maybe 2 notes per bow. And there are 2 more things that I forgot to mention. First thing is that try to use most of your hair of your bow, right? So try not to play too much with the wood, or else you also will get a weak sound. So try to play more with the hair, because the more hair you use, the more potential your sound gets. And the second thing that I want to mention is, for this exercise, try to use the whole, but no, not try, do it. So use the whole length of the bow. So really take your time. You can do as slow as you want. Anyways, I can use so many examples here. Actually, you can apply this to any kind of music, any kind of musical piece you wish. Not only in melodical pieces, but also in virtuosic pieces. And of course, once you're starting to feel, once things are starting to get into your muscles, into your arms, into your body, then you can start to adjust things. You can speed up the tempo, play with a smaller bow, adding some character, and so on. And as I mentioned before, as you're practicing the slow, you can work on your intonation as well, so you can hear things clearer. So there are only good things coming from that way of practicing. And that's it for today. I hope you found this tip useful and that you will apply this to any musical piece that you're playing. And please let me know in the comment section below if this is a way that works well for you. And also, if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comment section below. We can all learn from each other. Next time, we will cover study number 44 by Louis Fayard, which is a study for chords. It's been a while I did another Fayard, so I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.